Welcome to Assessment Quick Bites, a series of short, informal videos where I explain important concepts in student learning outcomes assessment. I'm Amanda Henricks, Director of Assessment at Mount Wachusett Community College, and today we will be talking about aligning ISLOs with your course learning outcomes. Before watching this video, I do recommend watching the video on writing equity-minded learning outcomes. It has helpful information on how to write measurable learning outcomes in general. It could also be useful for you to watch the video on aligning assignments to outcomes, since here we'll be talking both about measurable outcomes and alignment. Some definitions here. A learning outcome is a description of the knowledge, skills, and abilities that a student will demonstrate at the end of the learning process. This means that ISLOs will be demonstrated by graduation, program learning outcomes at the end of the program, and course learning outcomes at the end of the semester. Also remember that every outcome in your course needs at least one assignment in which students demonstrate that they have achieved the skills outlined in the outcomes. So if one of my outcomes for my course is that students will be able to write a clear paragraph, then they'll have to show me that they can do that in an assignment. Sometimes one larger assignment can address multiple outcomes. For example, a research-driven paper could demonstrate outcomes such as formulate ideas and opinions supported by organized, appropriate content, and construct a clear paragraph with a topic sentence, supporting statements, and conclusion. So here you might be able to notice that this is already getting a bit tricky, right? If every outcome has to have an assignment in which students demonstrate their mastery, and you're addressing course outcomes and program outcomes and institutional outcomes in one semester, where on earth do you begin? Well, the trick here, as it is for most assessment, is actually just to start small, right? Pick one variable to change. What that is depends on your goals for yourself and your teaching. So starting small has two benefits. It's easier to notice the difference in student outcomes if you've only changed one variable, and the results of that are likely to be more reliable. And it is also so much more manageable for you. So here's where you start. First, review your course learning outcomes. Make sure they're measurable. Then review your program's learning outcomes. How does your course fit in with the program as a whole? Then you review the ISLOs, and I would say particularly the more granular outcomes, so not just the big overarching ISLO 1, right? But what's the sub outcome that's more likely to apply in a single course? And then review your course assignments. So are your assignments already aligned to your course, program, or institutional outcomes? In other words, does every outcome have a corresponding assignment? And if so, great, you are set. If not, then you can start to think, can you tweak an assignment to show how it addresses the relevant learning outcome? So to be very clear, this is not about changing the course content you're teaching, right? There's no way in which you're required to change your course to conform to learning outcomes. Rather, it's about clarifying how your content already relates to the existing frameworks of course learning outcomes or program learning outcomes or institutional outcomes. And I'll reiterate again, don't change everything all at once. That is so confusing for you, and you won't know how well any one change may have worked. Instead, pick one assignment and clarify how it already addresses an ISLO. So there's a lot here. There's much more to talk about with including ISLOs in your course. I'm very happy to answer questions. You can reach out to me at ahenricks@mwcc.mass.edu or assessment@mwcc.mass.edu. I will also recommend our resident instructional designer and expert Anne Dumont at adumont1@mwcc.mass.edu. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to more assessment quick bites in the future.